Hey guys, welcome back to Film Title. Today we'll talk about some of the super gross moments in My Feet Are Killing Me. Let's head into it. Number 1. Extremely painful long finger-sized toes. Vako has extremely long toes that he cannot conceal. Vako went to see Dr. Brad Schaefer in the aim of having his toe reduced in size. Vako admitted that his long toes had caused him difficulties in his daily life. To begin with, he found it difficult to wear shoes because they caused him agony. Dr. Schaefer stated that it usually occurred when his toe brushed up against the shoes, causing agony. Vako admitted that when the agony in his toe becomes unbearable, he needs to tie a bandage over it. According to Dr. Schaefer, such toes can also cause hammer toes. Vako added that he simply wants them corrected, since the long toes can cause him so much pain that he feels like cutting them off with a knife. Vako also remarked that because his toes are so long, he refers to them as fingers. Dr. Schaefer indicated that in order to ensure that Vako is not in discomfort, he will curve the bone down and then remove the surplus bone to ensure that he has the length that he needs. He went on to say that in most circumstances, the second toe is a little typical, but in his case, it was abnormally long. Dr. Schaefer used a saw to reach the bone and cut away the excess bone. He next contoured the bone and removed all of the fat and skin that had accumulated around it. Dr. Schaefer then used a screw gun to ensure that he could insert a rod and get the toe standing in the proper position. His other foot was treated in the same manner. While Dr. Schaefer assumed the treatment went nicely, he was surprised to discover that the K-wire was not properly holding the toe. Dr. Schaefer opted to drive the wire farther lower to ensure that the toe was stable, and they were able to achieve their goal. Vako should rest his feet for 2 weeks, according to Dr. Schaefer, to ensure that the bones dissolve and acquire normal form. Vako returned after 2 weeks to say that the surgery had gone well and that he was looking forward to wearing his shoes again. Number 2. Chris. Chris has been unable to walk freely due to his malformed feet and has now reached the stage where he desires to walk pleasantly. Chris confessed that his malformed foot has caused him a great deal of suffering, making it difficult for him to even take a single step without feeling discomfort. The agony is unavoidable despite his best efforts to wear comfy shoes. Chris chose to meet with Dr. Brad Schaefer to discuss his options. It turned out to be a benign tumor near his big toe. To make matters worse, his big toe was falling over his second toe, which was the source of his suffering. Dr. Schaefer, on the other hand, was confident that if Chris underwent surgery, he would be able to address his problem. Chris agreed, but was concerned about the outcome. Dr. Schaefer said he would have to adjust the joint before proceeding with the procedure to ensure that his toe was aligned with the rest of his toes. He desired Chris to have feet with all his toes correctly aligned and straight. To make this happen, he knew he'd have to put a plate and several screws to ensure that all the bones and joints were in the right location. Dr. Schaefer was optimistic about the outcome once the procedure began. As he examined the benign more, he discovered that it was one of the largest benigns he had ever seen. Despite this, he understood it was critical to remove the additional bone in order to provide Chris with a toe that didn't appear malformed. He sliced the top layer of the second toe to shift it in the proper position after removing the bone. Because Chris has complained about suffering, it was critical to do so. Dr. Brad believed that by doing so, he would be able to walk freely without pain. Dr. Schaefer was delighted with the outcomes after realigning Chris's toes to their proper position, and he was confident that Chris would no longer be uncomfortable. After a few weeks have passed, Chris returned for a visit, and Dr. Schaefer was pleased with the condition of his feet. Number 3. Holly. Holly has always been sensitive of her feet, claiming to have webbed feet. She remembers being bullied by others several times as a child, which had a negative impact on her self-esteem and confidence. Holly admitted that she was constantly thinking of methods to cover her toes. Her situation was made further worse by the fact that she had webbed toes on both feet. People made fun of her no matter what she did, and she was frequently referred to as a duck. One of Holly's worst recollections came from 8th grade, when she had to wear heels for a special occasion. She made every effort to ensure that her feet did not appear to be webbed, but she failed. Holly finally decided it was time to say goodbye to her webbed feet after years of hiding them. She chose to meet Dr. Brad Schaefer in the hopes that he would be able to assist her. Her meeting with Schaefer, however, left her stunned when she learned that she didn't have webbed feet, but rather a disease known as syndactyly, which causes the toes to resemble webbed feet. According to Dr. Brad Schaefer, the only way to fix this is to have surgery. This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss any of our videos in the future. Also, watch the 2 videos that are on your screen because I'm sure you'll love them. With that, I'll see you in the next video.